My name is Lauren Hahn, and I'm the Chief Financial Officer for Communities Connected for Kids. I actually have a background in auditing. There are certain things that you look for in auditors. One of the things that I would say impressed me from the very beginning was the initial sit down with James Moore and using that opportunity to get to know me, get to know the organization, understand what has happened in the past year, what are some of the challenges, what are some of the things that we're facing. So one of the things that I think is most important is understanding the industry in which the organization works. That's huge, because if they don't have the expertise in that area, they're not going to be able to help that organization. The audit went beyond just, let's look at transactions. It went beyond that to the communications that are necessary for leadership as well as the board. Karsten, who's our audit manager, had a very keen sense of communication to board members. It is a requirement that we need to communicate with our board as to our audit findings and whatnot. He created a one-pager for us to help communicate to our board members. So he understood the audience. He understood the requirements and what we need to do.
My name is Cheri Sheffer. I'm the Chief Operating Officer with Communities Connected for Kids. One of the things I love about James Moore is the way they just stay up on top of the current happenings and keep their customers, us, informed of those. We actually received from James Moore very quickly after all of the federal changes were starting to happen, some notifications of changes of federal funding freezes. Being on the cutting edge of those kinds of things as a small not-for-profit organization, having that information early on is so invaluable.
So when I think of James Moore, I think of the partnership that they provide for us. They're there in terms of supporting us when we have gaps in our resources, so we rely on them to help us with that.
I would absolutely share just how the partnership is so strong, how the knowledge base of James Moore when it comes to working with not-for-profit agencies, the understanding that the firm has on state funding and how it works, some of the expectations of our Department of Children and Family funders. There's a deep knowledge of that goes into James Moore and the work that they do.
They serve not only us, but they serve other organizations throughout the state. So they become a sounding board, and that's important. The staff themselves have proven to be not only consistent, but also knowledgeable in our area. And again, respectful and sensitive to who we are and what we do.
The thing I would tell anybody about James Moore is just the depth of the partnership. The strength that they bring to the table with the knowledge of the funds that we're working with is invaluable in the relationship that you need with your auditor in order to have a successful outcome.